Yeah, you. I've seen you before, haven't I? Did you pass through the portal that brought me here? Where am I? Up here. Above that shrub. No, below the tree. Above and below. That's right. Welcome to Arzium, my friend. My name is Arcubal, and I roam worlds near and far in search of adventure. Not long ago, I met this Renaissance man by the name of Ryan Lockett and his wife Mallory, who were isle-bound, traveling in their creature caravan from the great city of Iron. And we made camp together for the night. Over a tasty bacon sandwich and a cask of cider, they recommended I explore Arzium. Where's a good place to start? I asked. It's so vast and the land so varied in flora and fauna. Try above and below, Ryan commented as he sketched my visage into his notebook. It's where we wrote our first stories after leaving the city of Iron. In fact, we're heading there right now because rumors are abound it's now haunted. I decided to investigate the towns of above and below, and even went a little near and far, combining the two experiences into one with some added roleplay to enhance my travels throughout Arzium. Whether I was building a new home above and below or outfitting a group of fellow wanderers to roam near and far, I couldn't but wonder, when will my adventures throughout this wondrous yet oddly always familiar feeling place truly free the bottled story demon? Will the icon depicting signs guide me away from point systems and to serene fields of narrative immersion? The realms of sleeping gods did. Will Arzium too, now or never? I soon came to the conclusion that Ryan Lockett may be a creative savant, instilling theme and world building in everything he gets his gifted hands on, but like the worlds he chronicles, it's also always with deep mechanical undertones. And like the mechanical constructs that wander Arzium among toadfolk, hogfolk, lizardfolk, birdfolk, humans, glogos, and many more, the turning of gears and squeaking of metal parts resonate with every action that takes place. For experiences like those in above and below, that may be fine. But then, why does role-playing in Arzium feel so different, so disconnected? I decided to interview the people of the land. Lo and behold, the people near and far easily integrate with above and below. I hear the same goes for those folks who are isle-bound. Awesome. The faces alone of these travelers and house dwellers speak volumes on their backstories, and emergent backgrounds did bubble up in the back of my mind while interacting with them. Those who gathered around me in above and below did so without me ever showing my face, while in near and far, I could choose from several characters to represent me, each with their own backstory and developing narrative. Now, I'm not sure the same could be said about City of Iron, isle-bound, or roaming around with creature caravans, so I never was pulled into exploring these. But if I went beyond the borders of these boxed-in experiences and chose to roleplay throughout Arzium, the world truly opens up. Choices of 15 different folks, 20 different occupations, 60 abilities, items both for combat and magical encounters, 50 potential enemies. Yes, Arzium has revealed a true breadth of folks that its cardboard token depictions of above and below never dreamt having. But what can these people do? For that, I examined their goings-on about in daily life. Whereas the citizens of above and below mostly build houses and outposts, harvest fruit, fish and mushrooms, train fellow villagers, and labor for coins, I have to admit that exploration is first most on their priority list. It is, after all, where adventure calls and story events occur. Beyond Glogara, actions become more complex, both in mechanics and variety, but always still aimed towards gaining points. Still, no matter how strategically minded events were, all geared towards providing the building blocks that earn you those points, story always shines through. Ryan, Mallory, Alf, and Brenna, they're all very gifted scribes who tell evocative tales that delight, even though they tempt with corrupting choices. Still, As opposed to Near and Far, the stories never gelled quite together to form an overall narrative. They're standalone events. That resonates, sadly enough, in when role-playing in Arzium. There's no overarching campaign, no major world events or pervasive theme being told. Ryan tells us Arzium is designed to tell a focused story, but what is that story? Sure, there are suggestions throughout and mechanics to craft a story, create combat encounters, build an adventure, and even track time with a nifty calendar. But where is that great tale of humble refugees building their home in Above and Below, traveling near and far in search of the last ruin, roaming beyond to explore Islebound and take a creature caravan from the City of Iron to the east? Now or never was the chance to truly unify these previous tales into one epic odyssey. Whereas story through pre-written narrative appears to have waned since Near and Far, world building through locations definitely hasn't. As humble as Above and Below's beginnings were, so magnificently broad and diverse is the world of Arzium now. Houses in all shapes and forms were always home to Ryan, as given proof by the many buildings he has painted onto cards, boards, and tokens over the years. Now you can even do it yourself, decking out your very own home just the way you want to anywhere in Arzium. Compiled and revised by the best scholars in Chrysaria, a whopping 1/3 of the book describes the world, with every corner highlighting its creatures, history, geography, and notable towns and cities. All of this amidst gorgeous artwork, which, as we all know by now, is Ryan's key gift and achievement. The interactivity granted through designing your own home and tracking your adventures on hex maps, complete with a legend of 100 points of interest, goes to show how true to adventure Arzium really is. Or I should say, could be. It's very surface-level immersion. If hex crawls are one of the most popular trends in modern RPGs these days, Arzium would be a novice adventurer with some good gear but no real experience. The visual nature of its style invites you to pick up your rucksack and lantern and hit the road, but Arzium still pushes a very theater of the mind kind of experience. Would I have wanted to see more close-up maps of cities? Sure. Accompanying landscape and building maps to play encounters in? Of course. Encounters are really free-form occasions without location representation, and the locations all read and look pretty, but still manage to not fully come alive. In that respect, adventuring in Arzium feels rather hollow. Arzium, the role-playing experience, feels like it belongs to the era of Above and Below. It's pretty and has a few novel bits and pieces, but it's also still just a mechanical feat. It doesn't quite manage to come alive. Part of the problem for Above and Below is that we have Near and Far, and better yet, Sleeping Gods. With Arzium, we have a mechanically novel and seemingly fresh RPG, but it harkens back to old-fashioned roleplay frameworks and only suggests some integration with what came before. It is more than a little disappointing that the standalone board game experiences are not somehow more integrated in the role-playing adventures of Arzium. Now, I will probably revisit this in greater depth in the future, but there is a reason I did not jump on board immediately when I saw the RPG and snatch up Islebound Emerald Edition, Creature Caravan, and every other experience set in these lands, while I had the chance. Arzium merely adds a linear roleplay system to its lineup of adventures you can have in that world. There is no true experiential integration. There is a reason why at the very end of the book, a mere 4 pages are tacked on with suggestions of components you can repurpose from those games. It would have been so much more innovative for Ryan to truly examine the whole experience of each board game leading up to the role-playing game and make one big campaign out of it. That might have tempted fans from this board game to try their hand at roleplaying while making hardcore RPG players sit up and take notice of this enhanced table presence of a board game RPG hybrid.